Okay, so we're going to practice factoring by finding the greatest common factor. So the greatest common factor in this polynomial, now they're all even numbers, so I'm going to guess it's either the smallest number or something smaller than that, probably. So 4 goes into 4, 4 goes into 8, but 4 doesn't go into 6, so we need to go down smaller. So I'm going to think maybe a 2. All right, when you're factoring, you're actually dividing. So I'm going to put my 2 down here. I'm going to put some parentheses. I know that I've got 1, 2, 3 terms. So I need to fill in 1, 2, 3 terms. And I know that I didn't factor out a negative number, so my signs are going to stay the same. So let's go fill in those 3 terms. So if you do one little bit at a time, it's not that overwhelming. So really, let's look at this. When you factor, you're actually dividing. So when you divide 4x squared by 2, well, 4 divided by 2 is 2, and then the x squared just comes down because we're not dividing by anything else. All right, now let's go and divide the 6x by 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. There's no x to divide out, so we just keep it. And then we've got 8, and we've got negative 8, or just we'll say 8, because we already have the negative sign down there. We don't have to worry about it. Divided by 2, 8 divided by 2 is 4. So that works out, we think. All right, if you're not sure, what you can do is you go back and you can multiply it out to make sure you did it right. So 2 times 2x squared is 4x squared. 2 times 3x, now this is the distributive property, 6x. 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. All right, it all adds up. It looks exactly the same as it did when it started, so we must be right. All right, let's go on and find another one. All right, so now we want to factor 27y cubed minus 9y squared. So, all right, let's start with looking at common factors. Now, we've learned other methods of factoring, but we're just going to start with common factors. So what goes into 27 and what goes into negative 9? Start with the smallest number you have, 9. 9 does go into 27 3 times. So I'm going to say that it's 9. If it didn't go into 27, we'd have to get a smaller number. So we're going to factor out a 9. Now let's look to see, we've got y cubed, which is really y times y times y, and y squared, which is y times y. So it looks like we have a common factor of 2 of those guys, so we've got y squared as a common factor. Now, let's go and draw our parentheses. This has 2 terms, and it's got a minus sign in between, so we're just going to keep it the way it is because we didn't factor out any negative numbers. Now we're going to go and divide. So now you think, okay, 27y cubed divided by 9y squared. 27 divided by 9 is 3. Y cubed divided by y squared, you subtract your exponent, so you're left with a y. Now we go back and we look at the second term, and we've got 9y squared. All right, 9y squared divided by 9y squared, because that's what we're factoring out. All right, well, anything divided by itself, that's the identity property, so that's going to give us 1. All right, so if you're not sure, I'm trying to erase this. If you're not sure if you did it right, again, let's go back and check. So I'm going to change my color so I know 9 times 3 is 27. Y squared times y is y cubed. Then we do 9y squared times negative 1 is negative 9y squared. It all checks out, so we are right. Okay, so that's the distributive property of factoring. That is not factoring anything that's a trinomial. All right, this is just for when it has a common factor. All right, have a great day.